Hey hunters, here it is. It's the end of the year. I'm out here freezing my butt off in the garage doing my last video of the season. Uh, what a fantastic year. I'd love to sit here and recap, but it's too cold, so I'm just going to tell you about what happened to me today. Today I couldn't get in the woods early. I had some invitations to go here and go there, but unfortunately I had to bring the missus to work, so I wasn't able to get in the woods until later in the day. But every year, the last day of the season, I go up on Mount Toby and I do my Mount Toby walkabout, and this is what happened this year. I got up there around 9:15ish, and I tiptoed in, and I crept, and I mean I crept. I really took my time getting in there. I stepped in. It probably took me 45 minutes to take a 5-minute walk. When I got in, I made a turn up to where my tree stand is. All of a sudden I heard a noise, so I pulled out my deer call and I did a soft bleat. What I heard was human voices, and I get this from some other guys that I've hunted up there with. They're like, we don't like to go up to Mount Toby because there's hikers and this and that, but the deer, they acclimate. So anyway, I saw these two people. They were sparsely dressed. They were in a strange part of the woods. I didn't know what was going on quite, so I kind of walked around and I ended up running into them, and they were these two very nice girls, and they said, hey, we were trying to avoid you. We were over here and we saw there's a whole bunch of deer poop over here. They go, and I said, really? And they said, yeah, and there's a skull and a skeleton. And I was like, really, where's it at? So they pointed me out the direction, and I went over, and I ended up finding this very beautiful skeleton. It's in good shape, the skull. And you can see it was a buck. Here's the pedicles. I went to look a little further. I was looking for the antlers, and I found the mandibles a little bit further off than that. And you can pretty much put them together like this, and they go together perfectly like that, the mandibles. So this was the skeleton or the skull, I should say, that I retrieved. Kind of goes something like this, but very cool. You can see that was a good sized deer, and I wasn't sure if a coyote got it or a bear. I did see some coyote scat with some fur in it, but it was. I'm not sure what got it. I'm pretty sure it was a hunter that dragged it up there just to dump the body off because it was in such a remote location. But anyway, the area they turned me on to was north of where my stand was and west of where the bedding area was, and it was loaded with deer signs. So I sat right down, and I sat there, and they chopped off, and it was about 25 minutes later. I sat there, and 4 doe ran right by me along the top of the ridge. They ran by from right to left. One was a baby, one was a mama, and one of them was probably one of the biggest does that I've ever seen in my hunting career. She was probably a 180-pound doe. Anyway, she was an old mama, and it was a great experience. They were, like I said, within 20 yards away. So I saw those 4 deer. They knew I was there. The alarm calls went out, right. So I decided that I had a camera close by. So I took the skeleton, I took some vertebrae, I took the mandibles, I put them in my pocket. I took the skull, I put it down my shirt. I decided to go pull my camera off. I went over to my camera. I was kind of shed hunting. I saw the deer. And my stand was there. I knew there were deer in the area. I went over, and my camera was full, so I had put in like a small chip, and I had set it on video. But anyway, that's another story. So I picked up my camera, I wrapped it around my waist, so now I have my camera the skull, the mandibles, my muzzle loader. And I was like, do I really want to climb up in the stand? But I knew there were deer around, so I did. I climbed up my stand. I decided to tough it out for an hour. It was pretty cold. It wasn't anywhere near as cold as it was last year, last day of the season up on Toby. But so I climbed up my stand. I was up in my stand about maybe 25 minutes, almost a half hour, and all of a sudden I look over in the distance. I see movement, and there's 3 deer, and they're coming directly towards me, and one of them's got horns, and now I'm excited. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I freeze. I don't move. I'm being careful of my breathing, and you know, the wind was in my favor, and out of nowhere I hear a giggle, 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 and I was like, oh man, this has happened to me a few times up there. But the deer, they learn to work around the hikers up there, so I didn't panic yet. I waited, and the deer froze, and they all looked over their shoulder, and they were all looking, you know, towards the north, towards where the voices were coming from. And for a minute, I thought they were going to come towards me, but instead they bounded off towards the ridge, and they probably went down over the ridge. So that was 7 deer that I saw within probably an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half, on the last day, and I would have given my kingdom for a doe tag. But you know, it is what it is, and it's just one of those things. You learn as time goes by. You learn where the deer go, where they are at certain times of the year, and you know, I had a great experience this year. I learned a lot. Like I said, I'm no expert hunter. I don't consider myself a great, fantastic, you know, hunter. I consider myself a student. I'm a student in the game of hunting, and I have the opportunity to spend a lot of time in the woods, and that's what I do. You know, I spend a lot of time in the woods, and I make these videos, and I share this stuff with you guys that are out there. I share my experiences in hopes that, you know, I can pass along my knowledge and share my experiences to, you know, hopefully help you guys learn some. Like I said, I'm no expert. I'm no great hunter. I hunt to put meat in the freezer, and that meat, I got 2 deer in the freezer this year. Those deer are going to help me at the end every month when I run out of my ribs and I run out of my chicken. I go to my venison, and then you know, it just it really helps out. It helps get me through the winter. Sometimes into the spring. If I'd got one more deer, it could have got me through the summer. But I'm happy. I was blessed. This year. Had a lot of great experiences with hunting Western Mass. The page has progressed so rapidly and massively. I watched it go from 25 people up to 200. Now we're almost at 225 in a season, and you know, I thank you guys all for that. Today was the last day of deer season. I'm gonna do probably a Happy New Year thing after this on New Year's Day about what's coming up for the New Year's, but I just wanted to share with you guys what happened with me today. It was an amazing experience. I got the skull, I got the mandibles, I saw some deer, I had some deer run right by me. I almost got a shot at one with horns, and you know, got a lot of messages from people out there that were out there doing it, have a good time. So that's what Hunting in Western Mass is all about. It's a networking site. It's knowledge based. It's a you know, it's by hunters. It's for hunters. We're a public, open forum. Everybody is welcome, and you know, people seem to like it that way. So we're just gonna keep it that way. We're not gonna do a membership. We're not gonna do any fees. We're not gonna do anything like that. It's just like, you know, you come to the page, like it. I hope you like what you see. You know, if you've got some stuff to share it. Please share pictures, share posts. Let us know what's going on. The next stuff that we got coming up, we got shed hunting coming up. We're going to be doing some videos on shed hunting. We got coyote season coming up. Swampy and I, Coy Scott, we're going to be doing some stuff on coyote hunting. Jason Kennedy, he's our master shed hunter. We're going to be doing some stuff with him, doing some videos on shed hunting, and we're going to enjoy the winter, and it's going to be good. Turkey season is our next big one, but it's always nice to knock some coyotes back. So this is Len Kale with Hunting Western Mass. Had a great day, had a great year. Can't thank you all enough. Peace out.